Anyway, so I wanted to do a recap of yesterday's conversation.
You press record?
I think so.
Yeah, you did. And you'll be able to see because it's recording right there in the corner.
Okay. So I wanted to do a recap of what was discussed yesterday. And I have been struggling this past year and with school and work. I was a case manager at a organization that dealt with people with mental illnesses and substance use disorders. So that was a lot for me. And plus, doing an internship in another department, plus doing school full time. So that was a lot for me, and I was burning out a lot. I found myself getting really frustrated. And now I'm triggered by the word case management. I'm triggered by the word servant or service because I hear that a lot in school as, people explain why they want to become a therapist, which is what I'm going to school for mental health, clinical mental health counseling. So with that being said, I was discussing with my friend Gladys, who just shook her ass in the camera, that, it's all bullshit and I don't see a point in it anymore. She was just like asking me, just redefine your purpose for it. What did you what were your original plans for school? And I was just like, I just wanted to learn more. I got into a situation about 10 years ago that made me realize that I really wanted to know more about how the mind works, how everything works, what the fuck this is, who we are, what are we, whatever, what is the unknown. And I started to go to the library a lot to study psychology. And I read a lot of psychology books, I read a lot of supernatural books, started to experiment with stuff and do things. And I was telling her that's what that's what I came to school for. I wanted to learn more, nothing less. And she was just trying to encourage me to, continue to just keep going. And I was like, you don't understand. It's bullshit. The more you learn and the more you attend school and you learn, the more, I can say for myself, the more bullshit I've seen. And so I guess she didn't understand that. But yesterday she told me, she was just like, guess what? I'm so glad I had the Uber driver that I had the other day because, we started off great. I was late as usual trying to get into the Uber. And the Uber guy was from New York, and Gladys is also from New York. So she was just telling me how he then, started a conversation in the car. And he was telling her, I went to school for psychology, but I quit and she asked him why. And he was like, it's all bullshit. And she was like, that's funny because my best friend also said the same thing and I don't understand. So he explained, he was like, it's all bullshit. They tell you that, you have to strive and burn out to get these credentials. But afterwards, after you think you're finished with school, after you've gotten in debt from student loan debts, you still have to strive to keep up with the credentials. You still have to pay money for everything. You still have to be at a limit of how you can serve, how you can help people, because I don't like the word serve, how you can help people, how you can assist people, and it's all bullshit. And she was like, you know what, that made me, hearing it from him, from someone else's perspective that I'm not close to, helped me to understand where you're coming from. And she was like, it's funny how the universe works. And I was like, yeah, the universe needed you to be in that Uber at that time with that specific Uber driver, because I needed you to understand me and where I was coming from, because you're my best friend. The universe knew that I needed you to understand me so that we can move to the next stage on what is needed, whatever stage it is. And she was like, that's a good point. And I was like, yeah, that is a good point. And then I started to ramble on in my little discussion with her about how I believe it's all bullshit. And one thing about it is,
do you want to see what you sound like?
No, not yet. So anyway, I was just explaining to her, just reiterating what the guy said. It's all bullshit at the end of the day. It's, you could do the same work with being a mentor or an advocate or other things that you can be in a community. There's other ways around helping people the way we need to help. But the system, which I call the devil, I will refer to the devil in this context, will make sure they deceive you into believing otherwise. So it's like they'll tell you, in order to help these people this way, to become a therapist, become this, become that, get your credentials, pay your money, whatever. In reality, you don't have to become all of that. Yes, get your education, I'm all for that, but the education doesn't lie only within the school. There's other ways to get your education. There's other ways to help people. There's other ways to assist people. And when we go into these things, they try to make it seem like, you're going to get more money from this. And it may be true, you might get more money from this, but is that really what you want to do this for? And some people, that's cool if that's what you want to do. But if you really have a pure heart and you really want to give back to people, and you really want to give back to your community, and you really want to assist people with guiding them or whatever it is that you want to do, there's always a way around the system. There's always a way of burning out. There's always a way around, having to graduate and then spend more money, more time, more energy into keeping up with your credentials, getting your licensures, keeping up with all of that, and all the rules and regulations. That's the bullshit of it. The rules and regulations, everything. That's all bullshit. And like I said, I'm so glad that she met this guy. I want to meet this guy. I want to bring him in for a discussion, because we're on the same page. It's all bullshit. I can help people the way I need to help people, the way for the purpose I'm here for, without getting all that bullshit and without putting myself through all this bullshit. And I say that because, like I said, mentors do the same thing as life coaches, do the same thing as therapists. Spiritual guys do the same thing. It's all different levels on how you do things. But when you get these credentials, you are limited to how you can present yourself, to how you can give back to people. And that is the bullshit. That's another part of the bullshit. And I say that, when we have the devil, we fall into the tricks and the trickery and the fuckery of the devil to tell us that, hey, take this route, this is the best route for you to live out your dreams. It's always another route. It's always another route. God always, the universe, God, whatever you want to prefer it as or refer it as, it's always another route laid out for you. You're always going to get to where you need to go, as long as you don't let others hinder you. And so when Gladys was like, he stopped being a therapist, he stopped helping people, he stopped living his purpose because he thought school was bullshit, I really wanted to talk to him about that, because I wanted to tell him, you've seen the devil, you've seen what the devil is about, you've seen the deception, you are awake, you are aware of that, but don't let that path stop you from getting to where you need to go. There's always a way around things. There's always a way around things. You could have became a big brother, you could have became a mentor, but the community needs you, because that's your purpose. You chose this path for a reason, but there's always another path to get to where your destiny is. Don't let nobody tell you different. Don't let anyone tell you different. Don't be deceived. And I was telling Gladys, I started to go deeper into things about family dynamics, and how it's the same thing with children and parent rivalry. Let's be more specific. So a mother and a daughter, most of the time mothers and daughters don't get along because they butt heads, power struggles, all that stuff, mainly because the parent has been through similar or the same shit that the kid has been through, but the kid doesn't think that the parent understands. The parent forgets that they've been through the same shit that the kid has been through or similar things, and they want to dictate. They want to come off as a dictator instead of someone who empathizes, who's been where they've been, and who wants to like telling your child, don't go outside, be a hot ass, blah 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 with these boys. It's gonna make the child want to go out and be a hot ass with those boys. Instead, telling them it's the child looks at the parent as the devil. You know, they want to become rebellious against this parent who's been the devil towards them, right? But if you switch it up and you go down another route and you say, hey, you sit down with your kid and say, hey, hormones are jumping, give them some education about their body, give them a narrative of your background, what you've been through as a parent, the similar things that you've been through, and say, hey, I know this is your own life, but this is what I've been through, and I want to keep you from making the same mistakes that I've made. Even though I know you're smart and you're a different person, and I know you can handle your own, but I want, as your parent, as your guardian, as your guidance, I want to guide you into, making the right decisions for yourself. I want to teach you about your body. I want to tell you that your body is yours. No one else is to do what as they please. And I want to let you know my background and my story. I've been this. I've been through that. I've been molested. I've been whatever the case may be. The child is not going to look at you now as the devil. The child's going to look at you as, wow, I did not know that about my parent. I'm going to listen to my parent now. And it's when we sit down and explain things, and this is what I was getting through. This is why I went to this subject, is because I was telling Gladys that I wanted to become a deacon. Not knowing all about what deacons do and everything, and I have to research that, but I do want to be a leader in a church. And she was like, well, what made you want to be that? And I said, because I just feel like the church has a lot of false prophets there, period. The church has strayed away from God as the world has, and I'm going to tell you, I'm not a religious person, but I am a very spiritual person. And God, I believe, is in all living things. God is not a he to me. God is not a she to me. I don't personify God because God did not say that it was a person. God said that I am all that I am, and we all are all that we are. The trees, all living things, we are all that we are. We make up everything, and together we create and we destroy. We destroy ourselves, we destroy other people, we destroy other things, and we build. We are capable of rebuilding ourselves. We are capable of assisting people to rebuild themselves. We are capable of planting new seeds to grow new trees, whatever. We are creators and destroyers. And I was telling her, that's the reason why I don't want to do the traditional. I don't want to chastise people and tell them that they're going to hell for fornicating or for doing this or doing that. Because like a child, they're going to rebel against me because I'm telling them I sound like a dictator. You're going to hell. Don't do this. Don't do that. No, I want to sit down and I want to explain to my community what fornication means to me. Fornication is degrading your own self, degrading your own body, letting people handle your body any type of way that they feel without you having any say into how you want your body touched, connecting with that person, building that spiritual connection, building that rapport with the person before you actually decide to give your body away to this person, and knowing that person will respect you as a body, as a spirit, as a mind, instead of just going around just having sex, because to me it's you degrading yourself. How do you feel after that? Ask yourself, how do I feel after having sex with any and everybody? Some people may feel good about it, and that's okay, but how do you feel after somebody degrades your body and just have sex with you in every type of way? Some children, some kids, some adults, we all at some point feel like, that's just not, it doesn't make me feel good. That's fornication to me. That's it. And we all know that jealousy can lead to some very powerful and strong emotions and actions. So that alone, yes, it's okay to be jealous, but what you do about how you react to that jealousy. Are you going to go and kill somebody for it? Are you going to go, or envy? Are you going to go and kill somebody for it? Are you going to, instead of telling people that they're going to hell for these things, no, we need to bring, my approach in the church as a leader would be to explain everything and listen to other people and actually give back to the community and not just, take from the community. I'm not saying that every church does, or every, spiritual sector does those things. There's a lot of churches out here, and a lot of pastors and deacons and spiritual leaders that are very genuine, that are very well connected to the community and who give back to the community. And that's great. That's awesome. That's where I need to be. But there are a lot of false prophets out here that I feel like are, straying away, straying away from the actual how to decode things. And I was telling Gladys also that I'm all on a rampage about this, but I went to Liberty University. I go to Liberty University for a reason. I chose it for a reason. I didn't know that reason at first. My unconscious did, but that's what the unconscious is for. Having you select things that you don't know what you're getting into yet. And along the way, hoping that your conscious would catch up to your unconscious and you'll see the vision, that you see your destiny at the end of the road as you go along this journey. And I would say that's pretty much how it's been for me. I didn't know why I chose Liberty. I didn't identify myself as a Christian, but going to Liberty helped me to actually study what Christianity was, where it came from, what's behind it, the actual original intentions behind, the Christian mindset or perception of the world. And a lot of people in the church don't really know that. It stirred from paganism in Greece. And a lot of people don't actually know that some of the paganistic rituals or chants or something was carried on to the Christian world, or in the hymns, the songs, and whatever else we chant is pretty much stirring from pagan background. And then there's a lot with how Christians perceive sexuality and the authenticity of it and the unauthenticity of it. And I just wanted to, we just talked about that. We just discussed that, and I thought it was a beautiful discussion. And I noticed that some of the things that I have in my mind are the way I perceive things are very different from a lot of other people. And I love to explain it, which is why I have a podcast when I'm just rambling about my other things. But I wanted to take it to like a show and have it structured differently and more clearly, and to have others participate with the same mindset or different mindsets. I'm diverse. I'm all for it. Different perspectives and different views on things help me to learn to see things differently from different perspectives. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And